Chosen one, yes, you. Stop scrolling and listen closely. Your ancestors have just spoken, and what they revealed will shake everything around you. People who tried to block your path, betray your trust, and delay your destiny, they're about to face consequences so harsh they won't see it coming. And here's the truth. This isn't about revenge. It's about spiritual justice, and it's unfolding right now. Every silent betrayal, every hidden attack, every manipulation you endured has been recorded, and balance is finally being restored. Before this message disappears, hit that like button and subscribe, because you need to stay connected. Every second from here on reveals what your ancestors are activating in your life and how you can rise above it. Share this video if you feel it speaks directly to you. Because Chosen One, the universe is calling, and it's time to claim your power. Watch closely. Your destiny depends on it. Chosen One, understand this first truth. Nothing was missed. Not a single moment of confusion. Not one quiet betrayal. Not one sudden shift that left you questioning yourself. Even when there was no proof, even when you were made to doubt your own intuition, every action was recorded in a realm far beyond human awareness. Every betrayal you felt but couldn't prove mattered. Every smear campaign whispered behind closed doors mattered. Every door that closed without explanation mattered. You were never imagining it. You were perceiving it before you were meant to fully understand it. Your ancestors were present the entire time, not watching from a distance, but standing close, closer than you realize. They observed who smiled in your face while secretly draining your energy. They saw who clapped for you publicly but resented you privately. They witnessed the silent prayers spoken against your progress by people who claimed to want the best for you. They also saw why this happened. Your light disrupted something. Your presence exposed truths others wanted to keep hidden. Without trying, without intention, you revealed weakness, insecurity, and unresolved wounds in people who were not ready to face themselves. Instead of healing, they chose interference. Instead of growth, they chose manipulation. And for a long time, your ancestors remained silent, not because they didn't care, not because you were unprotected, but because you were still being prepared. You were learning discernment, how to recognize truth without needing evidence. You were learning patience, how to remain steady while others tried to provoke reaction. You were learning self-trust, how to stand firm even when misunderstood, isolated, or doubted. This was training. You were being shaped into someone who would no longer seek validation from those who benefit from your confusion. Someone who would stop explaining themselves to people committed to misunderstanding them. Someone who would no longer betray their own intuition just to keep peace. Your ancestors allowed the lessons to unfold because they knew what you were becoming. But now, the watching phase is over. Something shifted when the interference crossed a line. Repeated attempts were made to block your path. Manipulation became intentional and persistent. Spiritual boundaries were violated knowingly, not accidentally. Warnings were ignored. Inner signals were dismissed. Ego replaced wisdom. That is when ancestral protection activates. Understand this clearly. Ancestral protection does not argue. It does not negotiate. It does not announce itself loudly or dramatically. It moves with precision and authority. It removes what threatens your alignment. It corrects imbalance without emotion, without apology. This is not about revenge. It is about restoration. Those who underestimated you made one critical mistake. They believed they were dealing with you alone. They thought your silence meant isolation. They assumed your restraint meant weakness. They believed your calm meant vulnerability. They were wrong. They were dealing with generations, with survival, with resilience earned through sacrifice, with spiritual authority passed down through bloodlines that endured storms far greater than this. And now, the same power that carried your ancestors through impossible circumstances stands behind you. You do not need to confront anyone. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to defend your truth. What was hidden has been seen. What was tolerated has been recorded. And what was learned is now complete. This message is not a warning to others. It is confirmation for you. You were never alone. You were never unprotected. And from this point forward, interference will no longer be allowed. Chosen one, understand this clearly. This is not a gentle karmic lesson. This is not the kind of correction that passes quietly and fades into memory. What is unfolding now carries weight, finality, and permanence. The consequences arriving are harsh because the actions that caused them were not accidental, emotional, or unconscious. They were deliberate. These people knew exactly what they were doing. They recognized the line they were crossing. They felt the internal signal telling them to stop, and they ignored it. At multiple points, they were given the opportunity to change course. They sensed resistance in their spirit. They noticed things becoming harder for them. They felt unease, restlessness, and disruption. Those were warnings, not punishments, warnings. Yet they chose to push forward anyway, driven by jealousy, fear, control, or ego. They assumed silence meant safety. Because you did not react publicly, they believed there would be no consequences. Because you did not retaliate, they assumed you were unaware. Because you continued moving with dignity, they convinced themselves you were powerless. They misunderstood your restraint. Your silence was not weakness, it was discipline. Your patience was not fear, it was strength under control. Your endurance was not submission, it was preparation. Here is the truth many people never learn. Spiritual protection does not activate when you complain. It activates when you endure, when you keep your integrity intact under pressure, when you refuse to lower yourself to the level of those trying to provoke you, when you stay aligned even while being targeted. That endurance sent a signal. Your ancestors stepped in because the interference did not stop after warnings were given. The universe attempted correction through subtle measures first. Opportunities were removed from their lives to redirect them. Relationships became strained to isolate harmful behavior. Rest was disrupted so reflection could occur. Peace was withdrawn so conscience could speak. They ignored all of it. They mistook mercy for permission. When warnings are repeatedly dismissed, correction escalates. At that point, consequences are no longer lessons. They become closures. What arrives now will not be something they can manage or manipulate. It will show up in forms beyond their control. Reputation will unravel in ways they cannot explain. Isolation will replace the support systems they once relied on. Financial instability will expose poor judgment and hidden desperation. Emotional breakdowns will surface unresolved guilt and fear. Hidden intentions will come to light without you saying a word. Not because you wished harm on anyone, not because you spoke against them, not because you acted in revenge. This is the result of challenging a protected path. When someone repeatedly interferes with what is divinely aligned, they do not damage the chosen one. They damage themselves. They step out of spiritual order. They place ego above intuition. They choose control over wisdom. And once that line is crossed knowingly, the consequences become unavoidable. This is not cruelty, it is balance. The universe does not punish emotion, it corrects intention. And intention, once repeated and sustained, creates its own outcome. You were not spared to suffer quietly. You were preserved because your path matters, because your role extends beyond personal success, because your endurance was proof of readiness. This moment marks a turning point. The same energy that allowed interference to teach you has now shifted to remove it entirely. The chapter of tolerance is closed. The era of endurance has fulfilled its purpose. From here forward, your focus is not on what falls away, but on what finally has room to rise. Do not celebrate their downfall. Do not explain your silence. Do not question the process. This is not about punishment. This is about protection being enforced. And once that happens, there is no appeal. Chosen one, ancestral justice is precise. It does not stumble. It does not falter. It does not make mistakes. There is no randomness here. No chaos. No accidents. What is unfolding now is a direct reflection of actions, intentions, and energies that were directed toward you. Every ripple they caused is returning in kind, calibrated with perfect alignment to the energy they sent into the world. Those who tried to confuse you, masking truth with deception, clouding your judgment, and shaking your certainty, will now face confusion in their own lives. Decisions they thought were clear will suddenly become tangled. Paths they believed were stable will crumble unexpectedly. The clarity they once assumed as permanent will dissolve, forcing them to confront the same uncertainty they tried to impose on you. Those who attempted to delay your progress, obstruct your opportunities, or manipulate timing in their favor will now encounter sudden obstacles in their own plans. Projects will stall, opportunities will slip away, and moments that once seemed within their control will twist beyond their reach. They will experience the frustration and stagnation they tried to create for you, and there will be no one to blame except their own choices. Those who sought to isolate you, who tried to weaken your support and distance allies from your circle, will find themselves abandoned when they most need help. Friends will fade, partners will falter, and the network they once relied upon will collapse under its own weight. They will feel the isolation they imposed on you, but without the strength or protection you have been granted. Those who lied about you, who spread misinformation or hidden slander, will be exposed, not by your words or actions, but by the undeniable contradictions of their own behavior. The truth has a way of surfacing, and when it does, it dismantles the carefully constructed illusions they built to manipulate perception. Their own actions will reveal the lies, and accountability will find them, whether they are prepared or not. And here is the part most people fail to anticipate. You do not need to witness this directly. You will not have to engage, intervene, or even watch the repercussions unfold. Your ancestors are positioning you safely outside the range of the fallout. The energy of protection surrounding you ensures that you remain unaffected while the universe corrects itself in alignment with spiritual law. You may hear about it later. You may sense it energetically. You may even notice subtle shifts in dynamics or circumstances, but you will not be dragged into the chaos. You will not be pulled back into the struggle. Your role is not to participate in retribution. Your role is to move forward, freed from interference, untangled from disruption, and unburdened by the karmic weight that others have carried into your path. Why is this important to understand? Because this phase is not about proving anything anymore. It is not about validation, confrontation, or control. It is about clarity. It is about stepping into a space where your path is unblocked, where your energy is protected, and where forward momentum is no longer hindered by those who sought to derail it. The door is closing behind you, and whatever happens on the other side is no longer your responsibility. What was once chaotic or disruptive is now returning to its origin. The universe, guided by ancestral wisdom and protection, is ensuring that every action is met with a precise response. The balance has been restored, and your role is only to remain aligned, focused, and aware. Chosen one, do not look back. Do not question the process. The consequences are unfolding with perfect precision, and in this moment, you are free to step fully into the path that has always been yours. Chosen one, this is critical. This message is not optional, and it is not symbolic. It is a direct instruction for your protection and elevation. Do not intervene. Do not explain. Do not feel responsible. Do not try to save anyone from what is unfolding. This is where many people fail their final test. Guilt is the last trap that tries to pull you backward. It disguises itself as compassion, loyalty, or moral responsibility. But in truth, it is conditioning, programming that was placed on you long before this moment. You were taught that protecting yourself is selfish. You were taught that saying no makes you unkind. You were taught that boundaries are cruel. You were taught that consequences mean you are heartless, that programming ends now. You did not cause what is happening. You did not initiate it. You did not wish harm into existence. You did not orchestrate events behind the scenes. This is not personal retaliation. This is ancestral law, restoring balance where imbalance was repeatedly created. Your only role was endurance. Your only responsibility was alignment, and you fulfilled both. Interfering now would not be mercy. It would be disobedience to the very protection that carried you through the storm. When you step in to rescue people from consequences they knowingly earned, you delay your own elevation. You interrupt a cycle that was finally closing in your favor. If you feel guilty, you lower your frequency back into a chapter you already completed. Guilt reconnects energetic cords that were deliberately severed. It reopens doors that were closed for a reason. It invites confusion back into a life that has finally reached clarity. Your ancestors did not protect you, so you could remain emotionally hostage to people who showed no empathy when you were hurting. They did not shield you, so you could continue overgiving to those who took without conscience. They did not intervene, so you could keep sacrificing yourself to maintain false peace. This is the moment where self-respect becomes non-negotiable. You are allowed to move on cleanly, without explanations or closure conversations. You are allowed to rise without apologizing for surviving. You are allowed to thrive without proving that you deserve it. You do not owe access to people who abused proximity. You do not owe loyalty to those who betrayed trust. You do not owe understanding to those who chose harm over honesty. Compassion does not mean self-abandonment. Empathy does not require self-destruction. Forgiveness does not demand reconnection. These truths are essential for your next level. Let the universe handle what no longer concerns you. It is more capable than you think. It does not need your help to restore balance. It does not need your permission to correct wrongdoing, and it does not require your emotional involvement to complete its work. Your focus now belongs on what is ahead, not what is collapsing behind you. This is not coldness. This is wisdom. This is growth. And choosing yourself at this moment is not selfish. It is sacred. Chosen one, as we reach the end of this message, it's time to anchor what you've just learned. Everything you've heard today is not meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. It's meant to awaken the part of you that already knows the truth but needed confirmation from beyond. Your ancestors have spoken, and now it's time to step fully into the life that has always been waiting for you. Understand this clearly. Those who attempted to block your progress, manipulate your path, or drain your energy are no longer in control. The universe, guided by ancestral wisdom, is correcting the imbalance. The consequences they face are not random. They are precise reflections of their own actions. And while they may feel fear, confusion, or loss, you will remain untouched. You will continue moving forward with clarity, protection, and divine alignment. You may feel a sense of release right now. That is your cue to stop carrying the weight of other people's mistakes. You are not responsible for the lessons others must learn. You are not accountable for the choices they made, nor for the truth they tried to hide. Your role was to endure, to remain patient, and to stay aligned with your own purpose. You have done that perfectly. From this point forward, notice the difference in how you move through the world. Opportunities that were once delayed will now flow. People who were previously obstacles will fade naturally from your path. Doors that remained closed will begin to open effortlessly. This is not coincidence. It is the natural outcome of alignment and protection. You are entering a season where your energy is respected, where your boundaries are honored, and where your progress is no longer hindered by those who once sought to derail you. It's also important to recognize that you do not need to intervene. You do not need to fight, argue, or explain yourself. Let the universe handle the course of justice. Your ancestors are ensuring that everything unfolds with perfect precision. What others face is not your burden to carry. Attempting to step in now would only slow your growth and diminish your frequency. Your task is to rise, to move forward without guilt, and to embrace the life that is waiting for you with open arms. Remember, chosen one, the power that flows through you now is not just for survival, it is for transformation. You have been strengthened through patience, clarity, and endurance. You have been prepared to step into a higher level of your life where alignment, abundance, and protection coexist naturally. Trust this process, trust yourself, and trust the divine guidance that has been activated on your behalf. As you close this chapter and move into what comes next, carry this awareness with you. Every betrayal, every hidden attack, every obstacle that once felt overwhelming has served to prepare you. You are no longer the person who was shaken by these challenges. You are stronger, you are wiser, you are guided, you are protected, and most importantly, you are ready. So stand tall, step forward, embrace the path that has been cleared for you. Walk in your power, knowing that the universe and your ancestors are fully aligned with your rise. What has been spoken, what has been hidden, and what has been denied will now make way for your destiny to unfold. You are no longer a witness to your life. You are the chosen force guiding it. This is your time. This is your awakening. Your ancestors have spoken. The balance has shifted, and the consequences are unfolding exactly as they should. You are protected. You are elevated. You are